So this is a standard issue launchers. Why don't you give us a tour of what these are and how they work?
Sure. So basically, like when we were looking back at the trailer there before, you were asking about the connection points. You've got these Fig 100 hammer union connections. This will connect the pigging unit to the furnace here itself with the pressure hoses that you run. And they're going to be rubber pressure hoses just because they're lighter. You're able to move them around corners, up and down stairways, that type of stuff. If you ever have to go vertical, you're going to run hard pipe just because you don't want those hoses to stretch. So that's this connection point on here. Down here on the flange, that's your connection point to go onto the furnace itself. So basically, if you're just dropping valves at the control loop, you can just basically put a 90 onto there and bolt on. If you need something a little more desirable for your connection points to be able to access this launcher, you're going to put on a number of different spools. You could even go 40, 50 feet if your outlets or your connection points are on top of the heater, that type of stuff. You've got bleed valves, take the pressure off for when you're changing your pigs out. And then basically you've got your threaded door configurations, which are the Hale 100 threaded connections. That allows you to interchange your pigs in and out when you need. To be able to do that, you're going to shut your unit down, isolate the valve and all the water from the pump and the heater. Once you've done that, you bleed it off. Then you open this up, you can change your pigs in and out, even your foam sponges, same thing at that time too.
Well, so let's talk about that bleeding your heater down and getting it ready for you guys. I mean, I know coming from the operations side of the equation, I mean, sometimes we've done a better or worse job preparing the unit for you guys.
Right.
So what's been your experience with regard to steaming out of the furnace and kind of getting it to the point where there's no resid and actually just coke left behind?
It's got a direct correlation to the time. The amount of time that you actually go steam to be able to get all that resid out for us to come in and pig, whatever you try and save on this time on doing a just to steam it out and everything, if you want to do it in 8 hours, it should take 16 normally. It's going to take that extra time on the backside for the pigging, because for us to get that resid out, you have to remember when you're running steam, you're running hundreds of degrees, so your resid is more fluid as opposed to ambient at pigging, which is going to give you a hard tar. Mm-hmm. And that tar basically just gets gummed up on the pigs, and we're not doing our job efficiently because that tar is going to take any coke that we remove and it's going to get gummed up on there also. When you do that, basically you run the risk of basically getting a plug.
Yeah.
And pig, it's going to stop. And so it, like I say, there is a direct correlation. I can't emphasize enough how much you need to actually steam and get all that resid out, because then we can come in, clean a work environment. We're not dealing with all that tar and pitch and everything to try and get that off our pigs, because over the years, I remember sitting down and just taking a screwdriver and just basically just cleaning those studs off, because it comes out looking like a football that's black. You can't even see the cleaning stud.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, 16 hours though, that's actually longer than I would have thought. I usually recommend like 10 to 12, yeah. But 16, you feel like you get a return on investment?
It can truly depend as to who's running what and their efficiencies, because you see a lot of different facilities. Everyone's got different feedstocks that vary almost daily with what they want to be able to do. So, it's more so knowing what you're running and what you're able to, what you have for product in throughput on it. And if you can do it in that time and still keep everything on for a cycle, if you're at multiple drums and heaters, and there's those factors with it too. But biggest thing is doing it as best as you can so that we can get in there and get our stuff going the way we need to, and not pick up trying to clean up from what could have been out easier.